The eShop can be accessed by many different users, so in order to make an appropriate communication tool and to take advantage of the potential of global market, it is necessary to define the target audience and to customize the e-commerce system to each target market, taking into account the cultural impact. In our previous videos, we analyzed the cultural models one by one. Check the videos of our channel if interested. And now it's time to summarize various models and to see what are the main common points considered in each of them. It can be concluded that the cultural dimensions identified by various researchers are often overlapping and intertwining. For example, the Hofstede's cultural dimensions in one or another form appear in all classifications considered by us. First is power distance proposed by Hofstede, or hierarchy proposed by Schwartz, or authority conception proposed by Marcus. The main idea is to know how important the power status is considered in the society. On the website, it impacts the style of presentation of the company, the amount of information dedicated to the top personalities of the company in order to support trust. When authorities are considered as important in the target market and the power distance index is high, then users from that market will look for official information on the website about hierarchy, responsible people, company's registration number, various certificates, stamps, and so on. When those aspects are not so important in the society, then users will more enjoy the websites presented in informal style. The second dimension is collectivism, individualism proposed by Hofstede and used in many other models. For example, it's similar to intellectual autonomy, emotional autonomy, egalitarian engagement, and conservatism dimensions proposed by Schwartz. Here the main idea is relations between people in the society. Are those people more motivated by individual motives or by collective goals? This aspect can impact many areas of the website, for example, the motivation for purchase through highlighting the individual achievements possible when buying the proposed product, or through the collective benefits possible to achieve in case of purchase. Next dimension is linked with content's presentation style and amount of information. Masculinity and femininity dimension by Hofstede, harmony and mastery dimensions proposed by Schwartz, rich and poor context dimensions used by Marcus and by Singh with co-authors. The main idea here is to identify what exact amount of information is required on that target market in order to be accepted for consideration and not rejected as a spam, and to define what should be supporting messages and elements, what is more efficient technique, aggressive or smooth, etc. This knowledge would allow to tailor the e-offer to be attractive on the particular market. These dimensions impact the content and style of e-offer and of whole e-shop. The dimension of uncertainty avoidance is often mentioned in many cultural models. The main idea here that there exists a certain level of tolerance to the uncertainties in each culture. Ones need the full folder of information before making purchase, others don't care too much. However, in the context of online purchase, many authors agree that the uncertainty avoidance is a very important factor that impacts on the visits purchases conversion rate. So the purpose is to make the website as possible clear in order to minimize uncertainties and any ambiguity. All elements of the e-offer should be clear. The description of the product, the pricing, the delivery term and mode, the payment methods and fees, the conditions of warranty and refund, the responsible persons and companies' addresses and legal information, etc. The next dimension is long-term orientation proposed by Hofstede, or time perception dimension proposed by Marcus. The main idea here is a different understanding of time by users from various markets. There is a need to analyze the acceptable terms of reaction to the queries, terms of delivery, terms of processing of refunds, and so on. Of course, the rule to do everything as soon as possible should work in all markets, but before going to the new market, the company should assess is it capable to work in the tempo required by the target market. If not, better to suspend going to that market till the moment when company will be ready to fulfill those requirements, because it is better to gain trust from the very beginning than to fail and to try to restore the lost trust. Dimension and dimension are used in more than one cultural model, so we can suggest that these are the underlying dimensions. However, in the context of website, the information technology related aspects are of the particular importance, such as technology development level and public tendency to adopt the innovations, because the high-grade communication through a website is stipulated by the technology development and willingness to use it. The uptake of the technology and willingness to use it determine whether the representatives of particular culture will give an opportunity to the eShop developers to start a full-fledged communication. As the internet expands and includes a growing number of countries and society layers, the recognition and application of cultural dimensions in the e-commerce strategy becomes the compulsory aspect of the success.